Hello everybody, welcome to It's a Camping Thing. It's about 7:20 at night. It is getting really cold. It is Monday the 16th of September 2024 and yeah, it is really quite chilly. But I'm here with my mom, Anne, and my little dog, Bella. Who's right here? Hello darling, come here. You say hello. Oh, there we go. There's my little girl. There she is. Let's say hello. God, I miss you. Such a good girl, aren't you? Right, gonna go back in? Gonna go back in the tent? There you go, good girl. So yeah, this is the first time I've actually been to a Park Dean complex that allows camping. And I've got to say, I am very impressed. Yeah, I mean, look at it. This cost £36 for 3 nights. It was basically £9 a night, and I've got electric for a 4-person tent for 2 people and 1 dog. And look how beautiful and peaceful it is. I know it's the off season. I know the fact that it's probably not their peak season, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We're out and about. We've got to change the same 4 walls. This is what camping for me is all about. And as I say, I am very impressed. Now I'm here with not only my mom Anne, but also my lovely dog Bella, but also as well this tent here, which is the Quechua Arpanas 4.2 Fresh and Black from Decathlon, which retails for around about £230–250, depending on the time of year that you're purchasing it. And obviously prices will inflate over the year, so in a few years time it might be a little bit more expensive. But that said, this is the first proper run for this tent at a campsite, and I'm really looking forward to it. Incidentally, I've got the bedroom on this side with Bella, and then my mum has got her own bedroom on this side, all to herself. Lucky her. But I've got Bella to cuddle up to, so it's a win-win for everybody. But yeah, I've got to say, very impressed with Park Dean. No issues whatsoever. Beautiful complex, little lake over there. Got the toilets just over here, which hopefully you can see. So if we need to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, got that just there. Great, beautiful place. Very impressed, and a very competitive price, I must admit. Now I don't work for Park Dean. I'm not promoting Park Dean at all, but this is just my personal own opinion. But I've got to say, very good. So yeah, in this video you can see a little bit more of this very tent behind me. You can see what my opinions of it are, if it holds up well. And also as well, some local area as well. I mentioned Scarborough. Scarborough is a place that we visited today. And we just kind of went there for fish and chips. I had haddock and chips with mushy peas, and it was beautiful. Didn't really get to see much of it because we parked. We didn't really get an idea of where to park, so we parked quite far and then realised that in the 2 hours that we had to park, it was quite far. Scarborough is huge. It's like a little city. Much bigger than I expected, but very nice. I did drive along the seafront, and possibly tomorrow or Wednesday, possibly going back to Scarborough again, definitely, because it looks absolutely exquisite. So hopefully we'll be visiting Scarborough and Filey and possibly Bridlington as well. I've just had my tea, beg your pardon. But yeah, very impressive. It's been a good day. So anyway, that's what you can expect in this video. I hope to see you then. Well, good morning everybody. It is Tuesday the 17th of September 2024. I'm just about to make a cup of coffee. I'm using the Taylor's coffee bags, which you can just about see there. And I'm using a Jetboil Zip stove with a Coleman Extreme 2.0 gas canister. Yeah, it's the first full day here in Yorkshire, and I haven't got anything planned. Not a thing planned. Possibly heading to Scarborough. Not really sure yet. We went there yesterday. Got a little bit lost. Just a little bit lost. But everything's okay. Had a good night's sleep. It was cold. And little Bella here. There's a little coffee bag that's been used. You're going to be a good girl for me. Sometimes I have to hold on to her and make sure the fact she's secure. I've got a lead over there, which I can leash her onto. I'm trying to give her a little bit of freedom and a little bit of trust. If I think for 1 second that she's going to do a runner, then I'm going to hold on to her. So apologies if all of a sudden I have to reach down. Just trying to be a responsible dog owner, but she's been good as gold pretty much, apart from growling at the old pigeon. But yeah, she's been a good girl. She's took to camping really, really well, haven't you, darling? Bella, what's this? Coming up? Yeah, my little girl, my little camping girl. 4 years old, and she's took to camping like it's second nature, haven't you? No, I really missed you lately. I've moved in with my partner Becky, and that means that Bella here stays with my parents, and then I see her every single day, don't I? I make sure I see you every single day, take you out for nice long walks, make sure you're A-okay, and you've got something in your eye. There we go. Now it's gone. There we go. Well, I've got to look after you, haven't I? I've got to look after you. So yeah, it's the first full day, and tomorrow is the second and final full day before we go home on Thursday. So we've got Tuesday, Wednesday full days. Yes, you want my attention. You've got my attention. She loves attention. And then we go home on Thursday. But this morning was really, really cold. Woke up and it's like, oh. So Bella and I are sleeping together. We are using this bedroom right here. As up she comes. We're using this bedroom here. We've got some sim mats, which are kind of foam and air mats. Bella's sleeping next to me. We've got a double duvet, not double duvet, a double sleeping bag, and then we've got a single sleeping bag over the top just to keep us a little bit extra warm, haven't we, darling? Yes, we have. So, yeah, no real plans for today, but we shall see how things transpire. My mum's still asleep. She's in this bedroom here, so Bella and I are in this one here. And so far, so good. It's nice to see a little bit different part of the world, because this is a good 150 odd miles away from home, because we only live about a mile away from each other, don't we, Bella? Yes, we do. So obviously we want to see the sights, we want to see what's here before we head home on Thursday. Scarborough yesterday looked massive. It's like a mini city, if you like. But we'll probably explore that either more today or tomorrow. At the moment, it's just a case of waking up and taking in the views. So I shall see you a little later on, won't we, darling? Yes, you're a good girl, and I love you. Can I have a cup of coffee, though? You can have a cup of coffee. Because you had your din-dins, didn't you? Yeah. Oh, she's such a good girl. I'm so proud of her. Well, good morning. It's just gone 8:12 a.m. on Wednesday the 18th of September 2024. Just making coffee. Sadly, my Jetboil Zip, I did some cooking yesterday. Put some beans in. And the Jetboil Zip doesn't have a simmer option. And I burnt the bottom of it. So I'm going back to traditional pot and pan. Not ideal. Yesterday we decided to visit Scarborough again. We walked from the quayside where the lifeboat was. We had a look at the lifeboat. I'm actually building that in Airfix at the moment. That's one of my hobbies. So decided to go and have a look at that, take some photographs of that so that I could build that better to the right colours of the intricate details where I'm using very fine brushes. And did that for a little while, had a look at that and then walked along the front, all the way along the harbour, had a look at all the boats in the harbour, and I took Bella a little bit further because my mum was struggling with her leg again. So decided to have a look at the harbour, had a little look at the amusements, and it was all good. Really, really liked Scarborough. And then after that we decided to go and visit a place called Filey. Now Filey, parking there is a bit of a nightmare. We couldn't get any parking, so we didn't stop. So we decided to carry on. We had a little look at another Park Dean place called Caton Bay. Caton Bay is where my other half, Becky, went for a week. And I decided to go and have a little look at that. Now, they don't do camping there. It is caravans, static caravans only. But we did think about the fact that maybe I would go with my partner Becky and I would have a look at that, or I don't know, maybe something in the future. It just gives you options and you get a little bit of a preview of what's there. So had a look at Caton Bay, Park Dean. Again, sadly, no campsite, nowhere to pitch a tent, which was a shame, but lots of activities for kids and that. You've got zip wire and you've got crazy golf. And this at Skipsea Sands is a little bit more basic. You do get a little bit less, but they do allow camping. So obviously we came here, but Caton Bay is within about 4 or 5 miles of Scarborough. So when we saw the fact that we couldn't park at Filey, we went to Caton Bay. And after that, we decided to come back here, do a little bit of cooking and just chill out and relax for a little bit. Now, today is Wednesday, the 18th of September, and we have decided to go to a place called Whitby and then possibly onto Scarborough as well. We're just kind of like, it's a pre-plan ahead, but it's open to interpretation. We don't know what parking is going to be like or how busy or whatever it's going to be. We can just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. So that's the plan for today. So I'm going to enjoy this cup of coffee. That's for me, and then that's for my mum, and then we're going to set off. So I'll see you a little bit later on. Okay, this is inside the tent that we've got set up. So we've just been doing a little bit of cooking outside. A bit of a mess at the moment, but we're getting there. That's Bella and my bed in there. There she is down there, being good as gold. And then my mum's bed is just there. And we've got the all important water and food bowls at the front. But as you can see, there's not really a lot of room for storing gear. If it was raining, we'd have to put some chairs in here. It's not a lot of room, but it's adequate, but it's not brilliant. But it's adequate, but it's not brilliant. Well, this is kind of embarrassing. This is the last part of the video, and I've already filmed this part of the video already before at the campsite on Thursday, the day that we were leaving. And that was on Thursday. It's now Sunday. Since then, we've had a lot of rain. Last night we had about 3.5 hours of thunderstorms, absolutely torrential rain, and the storms were absolutely incredible during the night. I did actually film a little bit of footage, but we timed the date for going to our trip absolutely perfectly. The weather was absolutely wonderful. We couldn't have wished for better. And the day we came home, it got a little bit cloudy. Then the next day it started to rain. And yeah, we've had storms all the way through last night. So thankfully for me, Mother Nature was on my side for once. And we had a lovely trip as far as the weather was concerned. But this part of the video I filmed and I realised was blurry. I'm still getting used to my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm filming this on. And I realised that when my mum and my mum was standing to my right, the tent was behind us, the Quechua Arpanaz 4.2. Everything was just blurred. And I'm like, oh, I can't really use that footage. So I've decided to refilm that in my garden back at home. Now, I remember more or less what my mum and I were talking about, and we decided to separate this trip into 3 different sections. The first one being the tent, the Quechua Arpanaz 4.2 Fresh and Black from Decathlon, which retails from between £215 UK sterling to £250 UK sterling. Obviously, prices may change in the future. They may go up, they may go down. We don't know. But at the moment, as far as September 2024 is concerned, you can expect to pay around about £215 to £250 UK sterling. Obviously, it depends on the part of the world that you're watching this in, as prices may vary there as well. So the first part is on the tent, the Quechua Arpanaz 4.2, and it was an okay tent. It was good. It did the job. For those of you a little bit experienced with tents, it's a little bit tricky to set up. The way I go about it is literally I lay the tent out, I peg it at one end where one bedroom is, I then thread the poles in and then work from one end to the other with the tent laying flat on the ground. And then once all the poles are in, I then open the tent up like a ukulele and then peg it down at the other end and then put all the guide ropes in. Now that was okay. Obviously with a tent with poles, the bigger you go, the more weight there is to kind of heel up. So that can be a little bit tricky. In that case, I kind of prefer air beam tents. I've also got a Quechua tent, 4.1 tent, which is 1 bedroom, 4 people. And that's relatively easy compared to this. So if you're kind of new and inexperienced, then you may want to opt for the air beam tent. But that's another £200 on top of the price of this tent. So that's quite a little bit of a jump in price. So for this tent, the only issues that we had were kind of setting up a little bit. I found it okay, but it wasn't exactly easy. But if you're unexperienced, then it may be a lot more difficult for you. And the other part was space. It's a 4-person tent, and the living area was literally very, very tiny. I could literally put my arms out, and that would be the width of the living area. So when you got to think about the fact that you've got a bedroom one end, and you've got another bedroom the other, and then you've got a living space in between, and maybe you want to stretch out in your bed, maybe you've got 2 people in one side and 2 people in another. You've got to think about where you're going to put all your belongings, your food, your clothes and all that. Now, I was okay. I could kind of put a small travel bag in the tent with me, but it still felt a little bit cramped. We had nowhere really to put the food or anything like that. So we kind of made a little table at the back of the living area, thread the electrics through that way because we had electric supply, and we placed the food there, but we still found it was a little bit cramped. If it had been raining over those 3 days, I think it would have been a little bit of a different outcome. Luckily for us, the weather was on our side, but it still felt a little bit too small, the living space. So we decided, my mum and I, that it would have either been nice to have another sort of 3rd bedroom, maybe to put all our gear, or maybe reduce our gear a little bit, or have the bedroom extended. That's the only kind of issue. But we decided to mark this tent 7 out of 10. So that's the first subject. The second subject is going to be Park Dean Skipsea Sands. It's an easy 10 out of 10. You know, the tent, the campsite was absolutely wonderful. The lawns were well mowed. It was immaculately kept. There was a lake. It was absolutely beautiful. I would go there again tomorrow if the weather was good enough. But yeah, Park Dean, Skipsea Sands, a brilliant location. Immaculately kept. The toilets were wonderful. There was just nothing you could fault. Absolutely nothing you could fault. It was beautiful. We even had an on-site chip shop and an on-site ice cream parlour. Obviously, times opening would vary, but yeah, the park was absolutely wonderful. So the third area, as it really starts to pour rain, was the local area. And now one place that we did kind of gravitate to was Scarborough. Scarborough was wonderful. It had a beautiful harbour, absolutely beautiful harbour. And if you're someone who likes traditional seaside towns like harbours, and you like fish and chip shops and arcade machines, this was absolutely up your street. It had amusements, it had everything. It was beautiful. Really liked it. Parking was a little bit of a nightmare, but then we found the fact that when we tried to go to other places, we did plan to go to a place called Filey and Bridlington, and we couldn't park there. Couldn't get a car park space at all. And then we went to a place called Whitby. And Whitby was rather nice, but it's very, very steep. So for those of you who have problems with walking, it may not be ideal for you. But Whitby was beautiful. Again, another seaside town, another harbour. Rather beautiful when you got down into the main park, but we kind of parked quite high up, so maybe that was an issue, or maybe we should have found another car park space lower down. But Whitby was beautiful, but Scarborough was kind of like the jewel in the crown. It really was exquisite, and always something going on, like a boat coming in, or you saw crab pots and things like that. So if you're into that sort of thing, that's great. And I think it'll suit all the family. Scarborough was just kind of like, wow, it's a place I really want to go. But it is huge. When I got there, I thought it was like a normal sort of seaside town, but it's huge. It's like the size of a city. It's really big. But yeah, for the local area, we gave it, again, around about 8 out of 10. That was only because of Scarborough. But again, your opinions may vary to mine. Your opinion of a certain location may vary different to mine. You may need different things at a campsite compared to me. So if your opinions differ from mine, then that's perfectly okay. But yeah, on the whole, the trip was very, very good. We enjoyed ourselves. There was a fair bit to see and do there. Parking was a little bit of an issue, which was unfortunate. But on the whole, we enjoyed it. And now we're back here in the Midlands, pouring down with rain. And I'm kind of waiting to go on the next trip, which I hope will be sooner rather than later. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a comment and subscribing to the channel. I just wanted to show a little bit around the local area, talk about Park Dean Skipsea Sands and a little bit about the tent, and just kind of share our experience of the whole trip. I hope you enjoyed it. So before it absolutely pours down with rain and I get my camera ruined, I will say goodbye, and I hope to see you again in the next one soon. Bye-bye.